It's myself, ODPixel here with Fold, ready to take you through the action of this first exciting best of 3 of the day. BB team up against Falcons, Fold, here in the lower bracket. We heard from the panel, the records it's gone over the year. It's not been great for BB team. No. Something about this matchup, they just can't win a series here. It's where it counts the most, Fold. For them to hold on in this international run, they've got to do it today.
This is the time to prove it. And it's been really, most of the time, just toward those later stages of the games. And I think most of the time when we talk about BBT, early game dominators. It's just, can they close the games out? So many times this year, I swear, me and you have even casted them versus Falcons, 10,000 gold lead, going to 20 minutes, etc. And then they just can't close the game up and end up losing. So, yeah, this is the time to prove it. And a very strong early game aggressive lineup that they've gone for around this Nature's Prophet to try to put pressure on the map early on. But is it going to work out? That's the question. As we see Falcons, they bring out the Primal Beast. Amar, not the most comfortable on it in general, but they are comfortable to pick it now that he's played a couple more times in these pubs.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking forward to see what he's going to be able to pull out from the offlane on the Primal. I mean, overall, so do you like this approach from BB team? It is, again, one of those drafts, right, where you've got, 4 ranged heroes, 1 melee. A lot of this is going to be on the Doom to kind of tank the brunt of the attacks coming in from Falcons, whereas Falcons, they've got a lot more beef across their lineup.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of team fight on Falcons, which can be a bit of a concern. It's just about the early game aggression, and Skinner
stepping up with the blood grenade, looking to run him down. The heal comes in, though. Skinner at the right.
One more hit.
Save, it's enough. It is. First blood for save.
These two, I actually wish, I want a stat line at some point that we need to get. How often do these two get first blood? Especially in some of these lanes, maybe that can have some difficulty with it. Doesn't matter. Even with the Doom, with that Lion, versus a Lina Omni, one of the most defensive lanes, they're still able to get that. I think Save in particular has always impressed us. The way that he's able to make some of these, not most traditional 4 heroes kind of pop out. It's always very impressive.
Now looking at some of these matchups so far in the mid lane, some fantastic stuff here from GPK on the first few waves. 13 and 5 against the 9 and 0, getting that early lead against Mallory.
Mallory should be able to do just fine though. Probably just a couple extra denies that you'll see come out from GPK, but bullying the Sand King with the Nature's Prophet a bit difficult. We'll just see the rotations. I'm curious to see if GPK is going to be pretty active, especially toward the top lane, toward the Lina, because I think that's why they wanted this, right? Yeah, you don't have the best ways to get on her at some points, but if the Nature's Prop's TPing behind, you have great ways to dive.
I mean, that's the thing, right? If you look at both of the side lanes of BB team, they can get action going early, right? They will be able to set up, and yeah, you throw a Nature's Prophet, and on top of that, Falcons have got to be ready for these early movements.
Yeah, because bottom, it can be a little bit of an awkward lane, right? You look at this Mirana plus Wind Ranger, there's not really any setup, but when there's a Shackle Shot and there's a Sprout, could definitely see some potential kills. But this one I would say is the harder one for them to get too aggro on versus the Primal Beast and onto this Hoodwink. They have good ways to reset away. And it's very tanky overall. You see Amar just gets this level 2, or I didn't see which level he got it, but he has the Uproar.
So far, Psyker still having no struggle finding the CS down it. Unless they get massively out of position. I feel difficult for Falcons to get the jump onto the Wind Ranger in the lane.
Yeah, it's all about if he just steps up a bit too far. They do get a nice side pull here from TORONTOTOKYO. And thing to point out also, they did get both of the Lotuses in these first 3 minutes. So always important to point it out. When you're playing with Mirana, you know, not the most impactful. Sometimes we meme about this innate, but hey, 20% extra, you get 2 Lotuses. These things can add up in these side lanes.
Yeah, mid lane, as you say, starting to catch back up, but the deny is actually building up from GPK.
And let's see how much GPK's micro also comes in, because sometimes I see these NPs mid, it's trying to secure runes when you're playing versus these bottle heroes. So, I mean, Mallory's going to get at least one of them finished up and potentially just going to get a refill also. So, but GPK trying to put that hurt on.
That's a lot of damage from him and his
And look, he's canceling the TPs, so he is going to be able to deny away that top one. So nicely done.
Top tier mid play so far from GPK to start this one off.
His levels are going to be quick too, so as soon as that level 6 comes off, we're going to have to keep eyes on this Wrath of Nature, how much it's going to be able to do to these side lanes.
Of course, on the top, you know, Snake King should be able to make sure the 2 of them don't ever get left or have to sit very low in HP in this lane. But the bottom one, probably the more vulnerable. Crit's going to have to be careful.
He's got to get some stacks going, it looks like. They can't get too aggressive down here, so Crit we'll work on those. We see Malrine also. It's a Sand King versus this Nature's Prophet, so he's going to be playing around stacks to ensure that he can keep that net worth consistent. Yeah, so far, all 3 lanes though. BBT looking strong.
And this is, as you said, sort of been the story a lot of the times when we do see BBT.
Yes.
Right? This is definitely the part of the game where you really sort of see the kind of the MMRs reflected, right?
Yeah.
They're 3 cores at the moment in the top 10 on the board. The laning, the mechanics early on, they're going to be pretty flawless.
Yeah, absolutely. And top overall, I'm just watching them. I'm always watching this top lane from BBT is how much they can go for these dive plays onto Skeeter, because Skeeter is struggling a little bit up here. 400 net worth behind the Doom at the moment. And NP has hit 6, so I'm watching. Wrath of Nature's up, TP's up. Do they want to make an aggressive move off of that immediately? GPK is definitely going to be ready to join if they do want to dive. But at the same time, Falcons, you can always imagine a quick TP response from Crit or something, that they can respond and they can fight back. The cool thing that he's doing right now, though, is he's got this catapult wave in mid, right? So he knows that Malrine has to TP back to the mid lane. So if he makes an aggressive move to a side lane now, there's definitely not going to be a Sand King. And this tower is taking a beating.
Yeah, the 6 minutes in. Look how much damage has already been done by GPK to this mid tier 1. It's basically dead.
It's pretty much
One more
gone.
push, and this tier 1 tower is going to be taken off the map.
That's going to open up the map for him even more so, too, to make that type of move. Doesn't have to worry about... he doesn't have to worry about where the Sand King is in particular once they take out that tower. They'll have so much information. Yeah,
slow start, but a very steady and sure one here for BB Team. 2K net worth lead already, just 6 minutes in.
Lane dominators.
And Falcons, after when you're going through this laning stage, is it just sort of full focus on making sure you don't give up kills? What's sort of the calls being made from Falcons?
I think it's just making sure that Skeeter doesn't get surrounded.
Yeah.
It's going to come very soon. It feels that they're going to look to pressure these towers with this NP having such a good start. The tower's dead mid. So 7 minutes also, he can look to contest the Wisdom Rune if he'd like to, if they had a secondary person in position, but...
Yeah, it does look like it. Crit setting up just in case the TP was going to be coming in, but as you say, GPK not going to look to make that risky move, so Crit will be able to secure his own Wisdom Rune.
Don't need to make these type of risky moves. I'm sure they're feeling it as well, too. It's like, we're not feeling pressure on these lanes whatsoever. We've killed the Lina, NP's taken the tower, Wind Ranger's not under pressure. It's a free farm across the board for them right now.
Yeah, it really is. Everything definitely going to plan for BB Team. Up
Tokyo.
Now, though, TORONTOTOKYO is found in the trees by Crit. The setup.
Scouts the ward. So he tried to make a sneaky play there, but the ward was already placed from snaking about a minute or so ago. So they will see, or 2 minutes ago, sorry. So they saw this one coming in. They got the stun.
Oh, look at this quick move now from the 3 of them.
Oh, this
they want to try and punish Psyker here on the Wind Ranger.
See how far up Psyker does go.
4 heroes on the job here to try and kill this Wind Ranger. They get the setup here from Amar. Quick turn with the shackle shot. TP starting to come in from BB Team.
Nice stun.
He's in with the stun to hold them back, but it doesn't matter. Crit still in with the bushwhack. Gets the catch.
Skeeter.
They'll get the kill. GPK, TP's in and he's ready to fight back, but Malrine, he's turned up as well. He's in with the burrow strike and the F-Tenter in on
huge damage.
GPK going down slowly, but surely he's out. TORONTOTOKYO
another stun.
Crit once more with the bushwhack, catching the 2 of them. Double kill for Malrine. They've got the level 6 on the board. They have to grab. They're going to get the team wipe.
The numbers.
What a fight. They bring the numbers. They start off with just the 4 of them. It gets the response from BB Team. But Falcons just able to play that out that little bit better. Crit getting some fantastic bushwhacks. And yeah, GPK TP's in, but after the initial sort of presence and a few right clicks, he's left vulnerable on the front lines.
Skeeter does go down, but they have overwhelming damage that comes in from this Primal and Sand King. Malrine, a clutch move. Level 8 now. We've seen a couple times Sand Kings do this with their first rotations. The first epicenter is devastating.
I mean, at the start, it looks like, hey, you know what, BBT, maybe they're going to get out of this. But Crit coming in from that extra angle from the left sets up. They kind of fully focus in onto Skeeter. And that leaves GPK in this position where he's got nothing else to do other than to try and run away.
Yeah, in hindsight, it probably is just a bit of an over-aggressive TP where he goes. Maybe he could have placed himself a little closer to the tower on this Nature's Prophet, but he put himself pretty much right in the midst of everybody. And the big team fight damage that can come out from this Falcons lineup, it can accelerate quickly.
Yeah,
Sand King and Primal is a ton of early game damage.
Well, we see already. Might get another chance to take down Psyker there, and with the burrow strike, Psyker's trying to escape, but Snaking slams him down with a hammer. Falcons, they have completely wiped away those early open, 7 minutes where BB Team were dominating the lanes. That's completely gone now.
And now they've got control of this bottom side too. I mean, 2 back-to-back kills on the Wind Ranger. Definitely concerning for him.
Now Malrine is going to hit some fantastic timings these games with his early involvements. 2-0-3. He's 1,800 gold already onto the Blink Dagger. It's going to be super quick this game.
Yeah, and the levels are just coming out super fast just from winning a team fight like that. So Overall, BB does have to be careful how they make those over-aggressive moves a little bit here, unless they can like pop the targets almost instantly. Maybe once they have like the lion finger, they can do another aggressive move like that to kill a target fast, but they need to kill them quick before Falcons reacts.
Absolutely. I mean, it is again the nature of the draft, right, that we talked about. The Doom, the only melee hero. Outside of that, it's a lot of squishies.
It's true. And
if they get caught in the wrong position in a team fight, they will get picked off one by one, especially against all this amount of huge burst and AoE, especially like this stage of the game, right? Falcons, they've got an incredible magic damage effort.
Magic damage output and just lots of AoE stuns. So GPK starting to get the push going here with his tree at the top. It's going to die, though, so it does make his way at least to mid to maybe take away the rune from Malrine.
Oh, there it is, 10-minute Blink Dagger.
So early.
On top of this phase boost already, Malrine. He's already been a huge threat across the map. That's only going to continue now.
I think his courier's dead, though, right?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
I didn't see where it did die. So, I mean, a minute where he's not going to be able to bring it unless somebody else brings it out to him. So it could be a little bit of space, perhaps, for Saika to
Crit's got it. Crit's bringing it out.
Crit's bringing it? Okay, I was going to say, that's usually... I've been seeing a couple players doing this when they do lose courier, and they're going to instantly smoke him, so... Really clever move, and let's see if they're prepared for it on the side of BBT. Scan comes out, so they're aware of at least GPK's positioning at the moment.
He's going to try and get the opening onto TORONTOTOKYO, but a couple of leaps will be enough to save him. Under the tier 2, this might be a bit too much of a I mean, they may be tempted to dive the tower. We'll see.
He's pretty fragile on the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. Straight away with the epicenter and the burrow. The bushwhack perfectly timed afterwards. Keeps Saika locked down. Another kill on the Wind Ranger.
They might go for
really
more.
Holding his game behind. Got the catch, leaps, they're all on cooldown. TORONTOTOKYO's got no way to get away from this.
And you can tell Mars practiced that. He did the combo where you instantly use the charge afterwards from the pulverize. No way to react. They're accelerating things quickly. BBT, GPK is trying to do almost the same, but look at Falcons responding right away.
Coming in, Malrine, he's going to be ready with a blink stun. If BB send anyone up to this tier 1 tower, I mean, they're already starting to hold back a little bit, GPK and Mirror, because I think they know this is not a safe place for them to try and push on.
I think for BBT, they need to just get this Blink Dagger on Miro so he can start getting involved, because it's a little bit scary for them at the moment without him. And like you said, he needs to be that tanky force to jump in and start the action. Otherwise, it's a Nature's Prophet TPing in and likely just dying to all those big magic bursts. So definitely needing that Blink, but it's giving time for Skater to catch back up. He was the one who was struggling a bit on the side of Falcons, but he is actually ahead of the Wind Ranger now. 2K lead for Falcons.
Yeah, they're, when they start to get the lead at this point, I don't think they themselves will feel under too much pressure to make moves happen. They're happy to farm up on all 3 of their cores.
Absolutely.
They know that it's going to still be quite the recovery needed for Saika after a rough start here. 3 deaths in the early game as the Wind Ranger carry.
That could be pretty brutal when you're playing versus some tanky cores, right? Versus this Sanking and Primal that can just get on top of you. And then you throw an Omni Knight who just makes them even tankier, more durable. We'll see how they address this. Amar, he's also queued up the pipe, so really understanding the damage limits from BBT early on. There's the smoke, so they've got their Blink now in the Doom. Can they find anything? Because right now, everybody on Falcons just split up farming.
They are. They're getting a lot out of the map right now, Falcons. So BBT, when they make these sort of smoke movements, they have to get something good out of it.
Otherwise, it just quickly starts to show in the net worth. It's going to, now up to 3K, it's going to quickly accelerate if they don't find a connection.
At the moment, nobody's down here. Their best effort may be to take the Twin Gate and try and look for a play up top, but even then, it's only Snaking showing themselves. You see on the map right now, they don't see a lot, BB team. Falcons, whilst they're making as much as they can out of the lanes and the jungles, it's causing it to be incredibly difficult for BB team to find some sort of successful movement. Snaking, they'll just have to maybe settle for it, but even that, repel and a TP, they're not even going to get the chance to set up onto a support. Falcons just completely evading the moves from BB team.
Yeah, playing the map beautifully. Snaking goes mid. It's the most dangerous position on the map, perhaps, but he's fine with doing that as this Omni Knight. Tends to be the case for Snaking. He does get picked off sometimes, but that's usually their plan. It's tough to get too over-aggressive on BBT because of how early that Sanking Blink came out, because of the Primal Beast. They have great ways just to counter-gank any of the BB aggression.
Still got a lot of damage. GPK can kind of get that level 2 in the Wrath of Nature.
Yeah.
He's closing in on the 12. And the Gleipnir. That's going to be the next sort of spot in which that they can look to get him involved. He's going to have a bit of control that's going to help him stop Falcons from getting the jump onto him.
Save. Looking for Snay again. Big Wrath of Nature.
I mean, they may be considering if they can go with the Finger Burst in the Doom. They're going to go for it. Now, the tempo of the game slowed down, so they're happy to drop some ults here to kill off the Omni Knight. And they'll get him. Snaking slowly but surely go down, gets a few CS on the way out.
There's going to be an instant smoke from Falcons, though. So you get a kill, but it's on a 5 position. It's one of your big spells, probably your biggest one in this game committed. So have to avoid the ganks now from Falcons on the side of BBT.
And they expect that Miro's going to be playing on the top as we see Falcons come through the twin gate.
Yeah, we see Miro, of course, doing the trick. I'll try to point it out when I can, but, you know, selling stuff for Midas, etc. We'll be keeping tabs on him so he can keep that farm going. And they've reestablished at least that net worth a bit. Just from that one kill, things are at least evened out. He's farming very well.
He really is, yeah. Top net worth now on the Prophet. We'll see over towards the mid. Jump spin made over towards TORONTOTOKYO. He's got a leap at the ready. He's out. See if they can continue to play around with save. Anything to put a stop to this? There isn't, so save's also away, but Amar does manage to get the grab on TORONTOTOKYO. So Falcons finding a kill nonetheless.
Falcons kind of gave them the respect there, though. Even though they didn't have Doom or anything ready, they were a bit cautious how they approached the 2 supports.
Oh, they might be going for Miro now, though.
Oh, now they see him up top, this ward too, spotting him.
Oh, okay. A little bit of a pause, Reno. We're going to see, though, after this, what Crit, he's likely to have the setup onto Miro, and Mallory does have Epicenter.
He looks pretty dead.
If they want to do it safe and sound, they can just set up with a bushwhack, rev up the Epicenter, get in, and Miro not really having many options to get out of this, and does not have any backup nearby.
No. Unless they mess up their chain stun somehow and he's able to TP in between it. That's probably the only way that Miro is able to play his way out of this one. In the meantime, too, Falcons are pressuring mid. They have a pipe already finished up on Amar, so damage for BBT is a bit limited.
See Miro. Yep. He's going to try and juke around.
Okay, kind of mean he's still going.
They're going to get him. It's a little sloppy, but a kill's a kill.
Don't need the burrow trick save. Let's find the Hex on Amar, but Amar has 2,000 HP with a pipe.
Yeah, Amar's like, I'll go in. Save, he turns with a quick stun. But yeah, Amar very much showing right now, there's not a lot that he's scared of.
Hey, he looks pretty unkillable unless he gets like Doom and Fingered, it feels like. Especially if he has an Omni Knight behind him. This build is going to be very valuable versus the majority of magic damage that BBT has early on. GPK does have the Gleipnir finish. Level 2 Wrath of Nature is online. So let's see if he can make more active stuff happen. If they want to make more active stuff happen, that is.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, does GPK want to look to fight, or do you think he wants to look to continue to farm and get the BKB before he starts turning up? Because there is a lot of stuns on Falcon.
Yeah, I think the BKBs are going to be pretty necessary versus the Sanking and Primal. I mean, even versus the Lina. It's a lot of magic. It's a lot of just mixed hybrid damage on the side of Falcon, so they might actually have to wait for that. But do you really want to give so much time is the question. I think as we said, as the panel said, as everybody kind of knows throughout this year, you don't want to give time to Falcons. You want to be the ones aggressing and putting pressure on them. Lion save is close to a Blink Dagger as well. That's actually pretty impressive with how passive the kind of game state has been. So perhaps with that as well, they're going to be able to make another aggressive move.
Yeah, between the Finger Burst and the Doom, I mean, it's not necessarily a guaranteed kill on a lot of these targets because they have so high HP.
Ooh. And also, Malrine does have a shield rune. So even if they throw, let's say, a Doom onto him, if he pops the shield rune post-Doom, could be problematic for him as well. As Miro shows himself for a second, and they're going aggro.
He's going to look for the setup, and Malrine's coming in with the follow-up. Miro once again not going to have anybody around to save him as Falcons pick up another freebie across the map.
They're getting so much. It's tough for BBT to make aggressive moves, and yeah, it does feel like it's probably going to have to get those BKBs online. I think Saika, you have to accelerate your BKB. We've seen a lot of these Wind Rangers. As the tournament progressed, it was straight Gleipnir most of the times, but I think the team started to recognize you need to go BKB a little earlier. But he's still not that close either. Those 3 deaths really slowing him down. TORONTOTOKYO.
He's pretty deep here.
He's very
testing the vision of Falcons. They're going to see him. They don't quite get the opening.
Nope. Those guys
are going to be off the mark. Malrine's still able to blink in and try and body block him off. TORONTOTOKYO is out at leaps. And that will mean that he is still very dead, despite the initial spells missing from Falcons. It doesn't matter at this point. They can kill these heroes regardless.
Just limited moves. BBT, it's going to have to be waiting for BKB.
Save.
It does feel like it. Save's going to go for a pick.
The opening.
There's an Omni here.
Backups. Whoa. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That happens to the best of us.
I don't think they had him anyway. And now GPK.
Well, no, I mean, that's what Save will tell you. Is that we weren't going to get him anyway. Well, that was...
Oh, no.
It doesn't look great, folks.
Things are crumbling quick, Owen.
They are first game out here on the main stage, and it may be getting to PPT.
Does feel like it's 3-15. I mean, after the first 5 minutes, right, that was them doing 1 lanes, but nothing's gone their way at all after that. Miro spotted bottom. Amar, he's on him.
He is. Let's see if Miro's got a way to play out of this. This time he might be able to escape.
But they also lose TORONTOTOKYO in the mid. There's just action everywhere.
I mean, Miro has to drop down the Doom. Snakey's going to be here with the backup. Can they at least kill Amar?
Nope.
They can't. Not even with the 3th, and they have to fall back.
This is rough.
Yeah, Amar knows it. Well, he's ready to start throwing some tips out. This game is looking incredibly difficult for BB Team to hold on in.
Yeah, and Amar, they talked about the Primal Beast. It's something that Malrine has played the majority of their games. I know even at the last tournament, when they picked Primal, they actually had them swap, and they played different roles. So
here we go. Maybe they get Snaking. He's pretty tanky still.
He's quite tanky.
As a support.
He has a Solar Crest.
See what he wants to do. How many buttons he wants to press whilst he makes them sort of spend a lot of time. They can't even kill him. They can't even get him close to dead.
Oh, and this game is completely fallen out of control. They get GPK as well. Top, there's a Bloodstone on Malrine. Top net worth. They can't even kill the 5 position. Sometimes Falcons, they sacrifice their 5s, their supports, etc. This game, they don't even have to sacrifice them. They're just running away with everything.
And this has got to feel rough for them. You've got to imagine, right? You've been there yourself. When you're on stage, a game happens like this. This is your first game out there. How are you kind of getting the team morale back together after beginning this rough?
It's a good question, especially when you're playing versus your kryptonite of the entire year. You come into this one with an idea, with a plan, and it's just completely fallen apart after the first 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
There we go.
They're going to smoke again.
See what they can get here. Jump onto the side. Save's going to be there with a Hex. There's backup for Skidder.
Here's Skidder.
Race down onto the 2 of them. They'll get the kill. They'll be able to take down Crit.
Malrine,
trying to focus.
He's healing.
Bloodstone heal indeed. He's keeping him alive. He's over with the bars.
Oh
double kill for Malrine. They're going to get GPK as well. Triple kill. They could kill Crit, but I don't think they could kill any other of these heroes on Falcons.
It doesn't feel like... I look at the timings Malrine's hit. He's got Bloodstone Veil, and of course he gets the most OP neutral item he could have possibly got for the scenario too.
My goodness.
The Vampire Fangs. He just sustains through it all. He's up to full HP. Level 18. Oh boy.
We'll see it again. A little sort of split efforts at the beginning on who to go on.
They just don't have the damage at this point. I mean, Malrine, look, he's just soaking all but 3 targets beating on him with the Solar Flare active.
I mean, that's the thing. I feel like GPK TPing in there just gave Malrine more units to lifesteal off.
Perhaps.
He wasn't doing any damage.
Oh, boy. We've seen Doom struggle in quite a bit of these games, especially in this road to TI, but now, I mean, it's not Miro's fault in particular, but the whole lineup in general is just kind of crumbling. 4-21, they're going to lose their Tormentor, too.
Yeah, Falcons just taking everything across the map. And it's going to take some sort of comeback. Like, I feel we just don't really see from BB Team at this point to turn this one around. It's going to have to be something completely, a complete surprise, something we've never seen before from them. Because right now, everything is looking up for Falcons.
Because even when now at this point, the fact that the game has gotten so one-sided, when they get these BKBs, yeah, they'll be a little more survivable, but we've seen they just have no damage, and more of these auras are coming out. Primal Beast, we see Amar. He's got the Crimson. You can see TORONTOTOKYO's desperate stuff.
Okay. He takes his chance, they get out. TORONTOTOKYO, he's just trying to get some sort of vision.
Waves.
Getting something out on the map, but they kill him again.
Yeah. They've got no control of the map whatsoever. Like, everyone's just trying to, like, suicide lanes a little bit, but it kind of just is that at this point, the suiciding. 0-8 on TORONTOTOKYO. And I don't think yet this game I've seen them been able to catch any like arrow setups with the shackle shot or with the sprout or anything. I mean, I know the game accelerated quickly after those first 7 minutes, but they just aren't landing any type of synergy spells, while Falcons, it is landing nicely. And now pushing this tier 2, Amar dropping the flags, and they bought themselves a gem. So on top of already having complete control of the map, now they're looking to take out the little vision that BBT did have. It's a smooth sailing, it feels like now for Falcons, unless they make some type of crucial mistakes.
I mean, this is the thing as well. I feel like their lineup is pretty resistant to mistakes, right? They've got a lot of, they've got the auras online, they've got a lot of frontline, they've got a lot of ways to dive high ground, they've got a lot of save from snaking. It feels like even the high ground push for this lineup on Falcons is still a point where it's going to be so difficult for BB Team to punish.
I look at the HP on these heroes, right? Look, yeah, Malrine doesn't look as tanky because it's only 2200 HP, but he's got 30 armor, he's got that insane sustain that comes out, they've got an Omni behind. They're all very durable at this point, and BBT's damage, it just hasn't really increased too much. As we said, survivability's up, the BKB's up on 2 of the cores, actually about to be up on the 3rd core as well from Miro, but will that be enough damage for them to go through? Just doesn't feel like it.
And who do you even look to go for? With that sort of holding the defense against the 5-man push, if you're Miro, who are you jumping in and looking as your key Doom target?
At this point, who knows? You probably want the Sand but then you have to be careful of the Omni, so maybe some simultaneous initiation while the Omni sees controlled, but at this point now, Snaking's just tanky, so you have to keep him controlled the whole time because you're not going to kill him. So I don't know, Owen. Because you're also playing into Aegis, it's just complications everywhere.
Yeah, Mar's going to start working on a Lotus as well to throw another sort of problem into the mix here for BB Team.
Yeah, they're already ahead of the steps that they need to worry about, like getting these Lincolns and Lotus. They can start doing it if they'd like to, but there's some pretty crazy levels to point out as well. Maureen, we talking about how flawless his game has been on the Senki. Level 20 in 24 minutes is pretty crazy. That has to be one of the highest XPs I think I've seen in this tournament.
And here we go with the push. BB Team, they've got to do something now. Smoke up's there.
Who do you go for? Hey, they got to go for some type of crazy wraparound, but the positioning, it's already been given up.
They're going to try.
Maureen's already in his spot to watch the smoke.
Can they make some sort of jump that catches Falcons by surprise? Save. Leading the way, they'll get the vision set up. The smoke will dispel here. Sage's going to jump straight away. They're going to find Snaking. Can they kill him? No, Maureen is in with a counter play. The two-man.
Miro's gone.
They're fully committing it onto Snaking, but they can't kill him. He pretty much fully heals. They just can't do the damage. Falcons survive. Now tap out.
That's over.
Falcons dominate game one.
This one was not even close, it felt like. You know, we talked up BBT's early game, talked how sometimes they can get these advantages early on. That didn't happen, Owen. It's going to be back to the drawing board, it feels like a bit.
Here we go, getting into the action of game two right now between Falcons and BB Team. Fog, that game one, it was a rough one for BB Team. Coming into this, what is sort of the key takeaways and what they've changed up and what they're going to try and take a game off Falcons this time around with?
More team fight in general. I think last one quickly, especially once those first two team fights kind of kicked off, the game was quickly decided. So I think they've, at least on the two support fronts, tried to fix that. Also, you know, not having this quad ranged. They do have the secondary melee this time around, so maybe that'll help them fight a little bit earlier. But overall, I would say just, yeah, more team fighting in particular. But maybe could be a bit of a greedy approach here with the Storm, the Doom, and the DOTA together in this lineup. Can be a little bit cooldown oriented. While on Falcons, it's fast paced. Tons of nukes. Every single hero has like a double nuke in particular. DK, Hoodwink, Mirana, Centaur, Razor. It's a lot of burst damage.
Yeah, I mean, across the board as well. Is it a similar step in which BB Team should get a chance to get that early lead once again they got in game one? Or do you think it's going to be a bit harder this time?
It does feel like it'll be a little bit harder this time, because this time they have this Hoodwink and Centaur, which is a very oppressive lane up top. I think they were pretty oppressive anyway. But overall, I would say, yeah, quite a bit harder. Bottom also, this one does feel a little bit safer, I would say, from Falcons, just with Snake playing his very comfortable Mirana. But this is probably the one that I'm going to be looking at. It's always Miro and Save to be able to get these first bloods, so that's probably the one they'll get maybe an advantage in. But yeah, I think Falcons, they've drafted stronger lanes this time than last time, and a very strong, stable draft that they're very comfortable with. You can see the Grandmaster tiers and Master tiers across the board on their heroes.
We'll see how because the mid lane matchup, we obviously got the Maureen Razor coming in late on the draft. Up against this Storm, yeah, how well can GPK do against this in this 1v1? You know, obviously nowadays you have the static slide with the Remnant to help you in these range situations, but is the harassment of the Razors just too much?
It is, yeah. This is a great lane for the Razor. You can always play great versus Storm because you have that same movement speed, so you're gonna get the links up. It's very difficult as a Storm to prevent a link in pretty much every single scenario, and looking at least across the board of these three lanes right now. So pretty hot from Falcons on the first few waves.
Let's see how well GPK is able to do against this pressure. I mean, the plasma field, the static
might get him here.
One more tick at the static link, he's gone! First blood for Maori, won't be able to keep himself alive, but he won't mind a refuel.
I think he's suicided.
Anyway, indeed, he's happy to go down there. But just going to show that this mid lane matchup, it's not going to be a fun one for GPK.
And it's just a couple denies that really make the difference there. Hits the level 3, immediately pushes forward, gets the bottle. It's pretty much everything hitting synergy at the same exact time for Marion, really pushing the limits of his hero. Hitting level 3, getting the bottle, instant dive onto GPK. Bottom lane is also going... I saw they're getting decent harassment onto Skeeter. Now he's reset back full. Doom has 3 CS.
Oh.
Miro's not getting too much
now he's got 4.
Either. Now he's got 4.
But indeed, not great on these first few waves. You say something on paper you don't expect to be that rough for the Doom on the first few waves.
No, not in particular on the CS. Usually you do see Miro get majority of them there, but I guess they were more focused in trying to just push out the harassment. I think they almost used all the regen until Snaking got his second set of tangos, but either way, it's a DK. He's able to self-sustain anyway. So we'll see how they're going to be able to do on those last hits. And top, this is the one that the Medusa is doing a lot better in, but this is a lane where kills can constantly happen.
And overall, how strong is the Deuce this game?
It's okay. The issue is just the Razor kind of... that's going to be his target to link in every single one of these team fights, right? So GPK...
He's going to need some TPs, yeah. A couple of TPs were threatened there to make sure the Marine doesn't dive in for that.
I'm not too sure about the Deucer, because, yeah, the
chill guys, you know, he saw those TPs coming and he's like, you know, it's going to be a 1v1. You know, why are you adding extra backup in? I mean, they might still get GPK. They will.
Oh, boy, Owen. They're putting the pressure on him right from the start. Malrine popped off in that last game.
Yep.
And this one already having this beautiful start. And to talk about the Razors, you were mentioning about the Medusa. The Medusa can look good if she's not getting linked constantly. But this is a lineup that can be kind of difficult to prevent that link. Yes, you'll have Cookie to at least distance a little bit, and you have some stuns and everything, but Medusa is very slow.
Yeah, and I feel like the Centaur really adds another issue into the mix for the Medusa, right? You've got that Stampede, so you can very easily choose when you want to get in, keep everyone on top of the Medusa, and when you want to back off and get away during a Stone Gaze.
And this is a game where Amar is going to absolutely free farm. It's a Centaur versus an ET Medusa lane. There's almost no way for them to put pressure on him unless a third, potentially even fourth hero or something comes up.
Oh, pre-level 6, this is not going to be an easy time for GPK.
Hey, Crip.
He's looking to start something here. See if, is there any way GPK can keep himself alive under the tower? I don't think so. There's going to be another plasma field coming in the second as Maori is ready with the next nuke to take him out once more. I don't think he can come back to the mid lane, folks.
To the jungle you go. It does feel like he has to. And this is a really smart play from Crit. He's like, my Centaur is not touch top. He's gotten the Retaliate build, triple bracer even. He can make the moves around to do this. GPK needs help. Stack away. I think TORONTOTOKYO has to start getting some of these at the least ready for this Storm Spirit to catch up.
Snaking, he might be able to kill Saver. He's got another leap and a Starstorm in a second.
He should just have him here.
He's playing careful. Doesn't want to dive in, so Save will survive. Actually, maybe turn their efforts towards Mira instead, but he's a little too beefy for the two to take down. So
they're bullying these lanes. These two in particular.
The farm, I mean, we talk about GPK dying in the mid, but continuing from what we saw earlier, this bottom lane, that's where the suffering's the highest. Only 11 CS still on Miro.
He has to buy salves also just to stay down here. He has to buy the raindrop as well. These lanes, they're absolutely getting dominated here from Falcons. Only the Medusa doing well, and we'll see what Saika's going to be able to do to get involved with that, because it's not really usually him with BBT that looks to get involved early on to fix things. It's usually GPK or Miro or one of the supports to kind of bring things back after a potentially bad laning phase. It's usually not Nightfall, usually not Saika for this lineup. So yeah, just defend the stacks. So you see GPK, he's trying to get that level 6 as fast as possible. TORONTOTOKYO is going to soak the mid lane, but you can see Crit and Malrine, they're looking to pressure this tower with this catapult wave and the 6-minute power rune.
Bottom lane. Trying to go aggressive onto Skeeter here. And the two of them have enough burst to take him down. They don't. Skeeter's able to walk it off. Tango over to him, and they just don't have the burst to really 100 to 0 this DK between the two of them. It's going to take more from BB Team if they want to try and get these early kills in the side lanes.
I do like at least they've recognized at least the issue that was going on massively, right? Storm's jungle is catching back up. TORONTOTOKYO actually dragged the mid wave, so the first catapult did only 150 damage. So all things considered, a little decent adjustment that they have done for now. Crit, though, is going to be stalking GPK, of course. GPK still not quite 6.
Needs a couple more creep camps to get that 6 online.
So just going to open up opportunities for what Malrine wants to do with this Razor.
Save. Is there any way for him to break away from this? The cookie, it's not going to get him far enough away.
The wisdom rune.
Oh, Malrine's going straight for a centipede set for snaking, and the TPs are coming in. So BBT might be able to secure it for themselves. TORONTOTOKYO, who's going to get the pick up first?
He gets it.
He does indeed. TORONTOTOKYO making sure that doesn't fall into the hands
of Miro.
Falcons, and Malrine just continue to clean up on the map. This, for someone's debut performance on the main stage at International, it's looking pretty good for Malrine.
He's not feeling the pressure at all. If anything, he's thriving off of it.
He's looking better than ever both of these games.
Absolutely dominating from the start, now making these early rotations. Bottom tower now also getting pressured. They have this catapult down here. It's not level 6 on the DK, but they have to address this as well. And it's a lot of bleeding happening quite early on that they need to address all over the place. On top of a Centaur free farming. Yes, Saika's farming, but the other two lanes are devastating at this point.
That's the thing. About 7 minutes into game 1, I think we saw BB Team, they had like a 2k net worth lead, and we saw how rough that game ended up. This time, it's gone the other way. So if they couldn't do it with the early lead they had in game 1, what are they going to do here in game 2?
It's a good question. Sports need to get levels. That's going to be the thing in particular. I think Save needs to get his level 6 pretty early on. They're going to get involved mid. Crit, he should get picked off here.
A little bit of something here for GPK as he tries to get this recovery going. Malrine able to grab the rune in time. He's got an amplified damage rune. They're going to try and get in on top of him.
He's too fast.
But yeah, Miro still just level 4 on the Doom. Not really a lot to throw out from him right now.
He is so poor, and that experience is definitely problematic for a lineup that's quite greedy. Level 4 Doom.
I mean, it's rough. I guess this sometimes happens. You know, it is the first pick hero. You do expect it to be dealt with. But yeah, something about the Doom hero, right? A lot of teams, they really try and make it work, and it just hasn't been working a lot of the times, Fog.
And overall, this hero does want to play from ahead. You know, the innate ability is all about having higher levels. If you're like the lowest level in the game, you're never going to have this extra damage that you can sometimes kick out, which is necessary. So yeah, we'll see how they get Miro back into the game, because that's going to be a bit of a rough one, especially since GPK is having a tough one also.
And they might just be able to kill him here. They've got the bushwhack set up, arrow to follow up. Miro is going to try and get under the tier 1 tower, but the leech there from Snaking. He's out of the game, and he's just going to continue to get kept at this incredibly low amount of level and farm at this stage of the game.
This is crazy. This tower's dead. Support's not quite 6 either. TORONTOTOKYO and Save still haven't hit it, and that's the 2 big damage dealers on the side of BBT in the early game. Besides that, they don't want to bring the Medusa early. And scary for GPK at this point. Yes, he's gotten a little bit caught back up here, but him getting involved, there's so much chains on. 4 heroes have a stun for him. So very susceptible to get burst if he does make an over-aggressive play. Amar, the Blade Mail is almost finished on top of having max Retaliate and quad bracers. Damage is definitely going to be an issue again this time for BBT, unless these supports start to get these 6s soon.
See what the move's going to be next. Falcons kind of got their eyes on the mid lane. BB team do have the 3 of them here.
Skitter is here, level 7.
So they get the setup with the bushwhack. Can't quite get in with the follow-up angle for a stun. So GPK will be able to break out of it. Maybe fight back. Jumps in over towards Snaking. Snaking's able to get the leap off. They didn't have the damage to kill the Mirana. Now BB team have to be careful. Keep their distance.
Malrine gets the RNG. We'll be able to get that haste rune. An Ogre Club already on him, or Ogre Axe already on him. 1700 HP on strength charts. He's going to look for aggressive plays.
He certainly is. Malrine, he's tempted to start diving around this tier 2. He'll hold back.
I mean, Miro is still only level 5 on the Doom. I was like, oh, the only potential for them to really go for Malrine is if the Doom TP's over and Dooms him, but he's still level 5 at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Another tower to fall. They can't hang on to these towers because the level 6s and these lanes have just gone so poorly. These towers, losing them this early with a Medusa lineup and this type of greed, it's devastating.
If they catch Miro out here again, his game's going to get very close to being irrecoverable.
It's almost already at that point, it feels like.
Malrine, he's ready to dance around him here with the static. He won't dive for tier 2 again, though. He's given the respect for the potential backup to be there for BB team. So Miro will live.
This might be the roughest start I've seen from Miro this tournament, actually. Bottom 4 net worth, 2 supports on the side of Falcons already soon to surpass him. And hey, I've just seen Amar do this entire time. He's just dragging waves, maximizing his farm. Yes, Saika's getting farm, but it's not actually at the same pace that the Centaur or the Razor that have been able to do so.
Can this Medusa solo carry a game in this day and age and in this patch?
I don't think 4 Protect 1s have really been looking too much like the dominant strategy lately, but we'll have to see if Saika can do it. They're going to smoke GPK. They have level 6 on save. Now they actually have damage to follow up with the pull.
And they do have the 6 on Miro now.
Okay. Can they find one of these big kills? Malrine in particular would be the best one that they can find, because he is approaching a BKB, which would kind of stop their aggression if they do try to save.
Should find a quick and easy one here. Snaking will take that.
I mean, they actually have to find Malrine before BKB. If they make the move and Malrine has BKB, he might just pop in and be able to turn pretty much everything onto them. So losing save definitely hurts a little bit of that potential momentum that they could have started going for there. 6k lead up onto Falcons.
That's a crazy advantage. They've played everything perfectly.
And Skitter just goes blink. You know, he knows he can be really aggressive to get the catch onto GPK. He's got the follow-up. If he gets the stun, it's very like
Dragon's out. They've got the angle with the arrow. Do they have the burst? The bushwhack, the sharp shot? They certainly do. GPK dead again.
Oh boy. It's too fast-paced. The items are coming out too quick. It's 12 minutes in, Owen. They've got great vision control as well around this area, and with some sneaky wards. Look at this one that they placed right there. I don't think I've seen that one too often, right above crit. So they're able to see at least movements that come down, and that one's not going to get dewarded.
Absolutely, that one's going to be there the full duration, 100%.
So whenever you've already gotten the mid tower and the bottom tower, so that's like the avenue to be able to get into these Ancients and stuff like that. So they're going to keep tabs of pretty much everything. Slight pause here.
I mean, what is the game plan for BBT? It's got to be looking towards Psyker on the carry, just saying, you know what, guys, Deuce is farming.
I think at this point you might have to start like... I think Gunnar was saying it too, is like this drum build on the Doom is something that people have looked for, but maybe Miro wants to go for just his recovery, this Midas and stuff, but I feel like you're starting to get to the point where you may want to put all your eggs into the Deuce basket. Like the Solar Crest, the drums, throw everything possible to amp her up. But I just don't know if she can do it on her own. Versus the Stampede to close the gap with the Razor Link. Right. It's just difficult to say.
You can really buff the Medusa up and have them ready to defend on the high ground when these pushes come in from Falcons. But yeah, Falcons, they're just going to dive in.
Yeah.
Get on top of the Medusa. They're able to stay on top of Psyker with the Static Link from Maureen. Sure, the Medusa might take a bit of time to take down, but there's not going to be any damage coming out from BBT.
That's the biggest thing, is like, where's the damage really going to come from? Especially once Amar is able to get this pipe, and he's getting closer and closer. He is farming up a storm. It's been an absolutely free game for the Centaur, nearly level 11. 2,300. They would have to throw literally everything onto him to kill him. And it might not even work out. He's going to go Blink instead to get more aggressive.
Psyker's got to be careful as well, because Falcons know that Psyker's been farming around this area. So if they show themselves at all, Falcons will go straight for them. Quick TPs indeed down to the bottom lane. I'll try and make a move here instead. BB team, they've got the smokes up, but they're moving towards top. We'll see the Stampede coming in as they look to catch out Miro, and with that jump stun, they'll find the opening, but they won't get the follow-up. The timing not quite there, so Miro able to break away from the combo.
All right, let's see if they can get the Centaur with percent base damage. If he was maybe further up, perhaps, but not the easiest kill whatsoever. How many TPs are available on the side of Falcons too? They've got two. So if they do see this play happen,
do this? It feels risky.
They're going to lose a lot of HP potentially going for this. Let's see. Amar.
He's already out. They're going to continue to try and jump in. They've got the kisses coming in.
The Splitter's not hitting. He's alive.
He's able to indeed dodge the Splitter and now ready for the turnaround. The Stomp's not going to connect either. BBT, and they try and make something happen, but it's not going smoothly. They've got Psyker moving over as well, as they're desperately trying to find some sort of kill, but they're in with the jump. The stun onto the three of them there. Cookie comes out. Can they actually get a kill? They'll bring Skeeter down.
That's one.
Amar is getting low, but they're dying in return. They've lost two of the BBT. Psyker's going for the TP out. They've got nothing to stop it. So Psyker will get away. GPK. He's been found in the trees. Amar hunts him down. BB team, they came for him, but the backup, the turnaround was there. They get Skeeter. It's something, but it's costing them 3 heroes, and they're just not killing Amar.
No. And I mean, even if the Splitter lands, potentially not getting him either. They had to hit absolutely every kiss and the Splitter onto this tanky Centaur. He saw it coming. Yeah, Psyker even having to get involved. And now it's point, Maureen does have the BKB. So before you were able to find him once, he is going to be able to pretty much BKB and just link right past to find the Deuce in a lot of these situations. This game is
check this again.
Very difficult for BBT.
They really went for this. But you see Amar keeping his cool, seeing that Splitter coming in straight away. No,
he felt no fear. He felt absolutely no fear.
He was running back in.
He was high-fiving before every spell was even thrown out.
And we see here they surround Skeeter, but of course this gives a beautiful angle for Amar to just come in with this 3-man hoof stomp. And a bit of a miracle, if not anything else, that BB team actually got a kill out of this.
And they get the Wisdom Rune too. I think if that Stone Gate didn't connect, they all just die and get no kills at all. But this is kind of how they have to play. I think they have to hug GPK with the 2 supports like this and just hope for the best that there's going to be recovery for the Deuce and the Doom. Because if they look to play slow, and if they just slow down too much with these 3, it feels like Falcons is going to scale Tricore. So I want to see these, honestly, continue to be active. Maybe not look for the Centaur in particular this next time, but who do you go for now that the Razor has the BKB? Because that was the other one you wanted to get pre-BKB, but now that Maureen has it, if you don't get the instant chain stun, he's going to be able to survive. Crit. Should be fine up here.
I guess that's the thing as well. They just don't have much chain stun to offer up.
And Miro again.
The angle's there this time round for the arrow to hit. No problem after the Dragon Tail stun.
Oh, this is rough. Similar to the last game, but I mean more stompy in particular,
this
because the laning phase
rougher.
was just an absolute one-sided affair this time from Falcons. And Skeeter even getting closer and closer to an Orchid, so they're getting more and more answers for GPK. Already has to deal with 4 different heroes with stuns.
I guess the good news for BB team, that at least this time round, that the hero that is very farmed is the Medusa. rather than a nature's prophet.
Very true.
If there was a hero out of the two that's more likely to have a chance of carrying a game and come back, it would be DOTA. He's going to be found by the Who Stomp, and the Dragon Tail's there to follow it up. The Stomp will come out, but not in time to save GPK as Falcons find another.
Snake,
the angle. Whoa! He's going to get the connection there along the tree line. Amar's got Blink up in a second, closes the gap. As indeed, off the back of that, a lovely connection from Snaking. They'll get themselves another one. Falcons, 14-4, 9K lead, and we're just 17 minutes in.
Yeah, I would say that the one thing that you're mentioning, though, is like, yes, the one good news you could say for BBT is that their draft is more about scaling toward that later game. In that last draft, it was more about just snowballing everything out of control. So this one, it can scale. Just with this type of deficit on the Doom and Storm, it's hard to see that the DOTA is able to do it on her own. And there's just so much stun, too. Sometimes the DOTA can do better because you're not playing versus so much chain stun and so many anti-carry, but it's just, it is a lot of control, so.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of build GPK goes as well, having to kind of play this.
Have to go BKB.
I feel like his best use might just be to get the BKB and then just go for the Axe. You know, have some sort of setup that's going to enable the Medusa in these team fights. Because when you're this sort of far behind as a mid-storm, it feels very unlikely you're ever going to be able to do anything offensive on your own.
I agree. GPK could be in trouble again. The arrow.
Hitting this combo every single time.
It's so easy for them with this chain stun, right? One hero shows they have a plethora of ways to follow up with it. BBT's it's a lot harder to execute, a lot more greedy, and Falcons is just taking advantage of it on every single one of these fronts. We see the glyph come out, the ET innate, of course, coming into play. Lots of damage from it, but yeah, they don't really care.
I mean, I guess the question is as well for BB team, how early can you fit the Divine Rapier on your shopping list if you're Psyker?
You need the I mean, maybe after the Butterfly, but that's still, it's craziness. This is usually when the Medusa hits the power spike. It's the Butterfly Manta timing, and then you're able to kind of group up around her, but they're at such a deficit. And it's not like their draft is all physical damage either. It's a ton of magical. It's a ton of just everything across the board. Skitter, Orchids at the ready. And they've got this deep vision down already. Again, too. I mean, sneaky wards. Another kind of sneaky one that Falcons placed that might not also get dewarded. They're keeping tabs of BBT completely. Amar
gonna try and make the jump on him, but he gets the blade mail off in time, and GPK, he's pretty much jumped in immediately to his death. They will kill off Amar. They're gonna get Skeeter as well by looks of it with kisses. So BB team, they'll absolutely trade GPK for that one. They get 2 big kills in return.
He might just have to be the sacrificial lamb in every single one of these plays.
If they could do that play again, it's gonna be brilliant for them. The problem now is they've split back up, and Psyker is being watched here by Snaking and Mallory. Get him with the jump.
Body blocks.
Coming over, indeed. They're controlling him. The Static Link's building up. Save, trying to break him away with the cookie, but Mallory's ready to dive with the BKB. The mana's gone. Psyker's out. Save, also likely to fall. Mallory is falling very low himself, but there's just no one else on BB team here to punish it. So whilst they do get that 2-for-1 in the mid, it very quickly continues to keep going the way of Falcons as Falcons are able to dive in and find Psyker +1.
Yeah, they have this deep vision, so they see when everybody's split up almost immediately, and they don't slow down. They look to make that aggressive play. The highest damage, I think, so far that we saw is BB, that glyph, by the way. That's the ET innate that actually was almost bringing down Mallory, and it was actually quite significant there. But ends up surviving again, and they do find that big pickup before the Butterfly is finished off.
And the thing is, they were able to make that play at a point where Amar had a lot of his net worth up in the courier. He just got the completed pipe delivered out.
Oh my goodness.
So this was without the pipe in the equation. Now there is a full pipe on the Centaur.
He could just
Unlikely
survive.
you're going to be able to kill him and Skeeter on the DK next time around in that sort of situation with the kisses.
Oh, look at top 2. They have that deep ward that we were talking about from earlier. GPK could be in trouble again. They're getting the full surround.
GPK.
Oh, he spotted him.
Amar knows where he is. There's a little bit more mana to play with. In fact, GPK is going to try and get a kill out of this, but the pipe's out from Amar. He can keep Crypt perfectly safe. GPK cut down once more by Amar with a double edge.
It's been a long time since I've seen these type of games with the mid laner having about half of the deaths of the team. They are putting all the pressure onto poor GPK. 9 of the 19. So they are set up to potentially get the 2 wisdom runes, though. So at least one thing going their way here. And Psyker is getting closer and closer toward the Butterfly. Level 15's been hit.
Okay.
But it's just him. It really is
It really
just
is.
him.
If Psyker manages to successfully carry this game, it's going to be one of the greatest character performances of all time.
Yep, does feel like that.
It's going to have to be. Now you get the jump. They're ready to catch them here as BB team try and retreat back to the base, but Save is caught outside of it. Falcons, they'll take the Tormentor.
Like if this Medusa, if Psycho was playing like versus this lineup that didn't have this anti-carry Razor or something like that, perhaps I could see more of it. There's so much. It's not even just the Razor. I do have to factor in the other thing as well too. Is Breathe Fire. You can never really factor down these anti-kind of carry mechanics that just reduce damage. These things add up in these type of lineups when you are limited on damage already.
For sure. I mean, it feels like the cookie is not going to be enough. We need to see some like 4 staffs.
4 staffs for sure.
They've got to get some 4 staffs. If they can sort of set up a fight in which Falcons commit and get the static link onto Psyker and then they're able to break him away, then maybe they can turn around a high ground defense.
Yeah.
But they need these items, and it's going to take a lot of time because at the moment they're just not finding anywhere close to the same amount of resources from the map as Falcons are.
Yeah, Solar Crest, 4 staffs, just try to get anything that you can to amplify him, but yeah, the farm is just coming slow from them. They're not really getting these items built up, and at this point now 12k lead, the supports on the side of Falcons are actually getting these items so much faster too. Crit, 4 staff plus Solar Crest done. Snaking, he's got the drum, shard, and his bracers. Even 2k gold, so can look for maybe another Solar Crest or Vlad's, whatever you want to go for. Just across the board getting too much. The supports are soon to surpass 2 of the cores. We could see 5 of the top 6 networks be out for Falcons soon if another fight goes their way. They've got timing though. Butterfly has been finished on Psyka. They have to play around it.
And we are seeing in the team fights, Psyker only dying the once when he was caught on his own. Outside of that, he is doing a fair bit of damage. The damage is coming out with the Deuce, especially now, I should say, next time around with this Butterfly being shown as well. And yeah, also just because of that static link, I guess he can't afford to go for anything other than the Hurricane Pike himself, just so he has that extra range and ability to break away from Mallory's attempts to get on top of him in the team fights.
Hey, it makes sense.
And then after that, maybe we'll see something spicy, if they can hold the game out that long.
Yeah. Because looking at the supports, right, you have like almost Greaves on save, but nobody else is really close to that force, so can see why he wants to accelerate it. And Falcons, after commandingly pressuring pretty much the entirety of this game, now they can kind of slow down, finish up a couple of these extra items.
Now, wouldn't even be surprised if we see Psyche get the 4-staff component of it first.
I think so. I was thinking the same thing, to be honest.
I wouldn't mind it, especially on a Deuce. You do stuff with the mana, it feels good.
He just needs to not. He needs as much damage as possible. He needs to not get linked and needs to not get breathe fired.
Yep.
It's tough for him. It really is.
Yeah, Toronto's going to be trying to get that Lotus on for him. Definitely going to be another way to deal with the big threats from Falcons.
I mean, that's optimistic. You know, it's quite expensive, so it does mean that they want to play for just slowing down the pace much more. They do have a lineup that can slow things down with ET overall on the high ground and everything, but...
I mean, that's the thing, right? You know, Falcons, they have this 14k lead, but we've not really seen them show any indication of trying to hit the high ground yet.
They probably don't. I mean, maybe they just don't feel that pressure because it is a 4 protect 1 at this point on the side of BBT.
And top Skeeter. Another quick jump and quick kill. They get saved. GPK this time round should be far enough away to make it out without any interruption.
Yeah, I think that they're not afraid about this Medusa. Just because they do have this triple scaling cores. And the supports, as we said, you know, they're likely to get the 5 of the top 6 net worths. Mirana has now surpassed the Storm and surpassed the Doom. That's the 5 position.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing as well, right? Mirana and Hoodwink, these supports both do incredible scaling physical damage output.
And you can imagine that Snaking's going to go, perhaps going to start being able to spill down that way. Level 15's been hit. He's got the leap attack speed. You can never really write off these damaging supports with Solar Flare.
See Falcons. I mean, the question is this the lineup of Falcons that you expect to see look towards the Roshan pit anytime soon, or?
I think the world's their oyster. I think they can kind of do whatever they want right now, just in terms of map control, because they have vision as well that's been very sneaky. I have to commend Snaking, because I've seen, I think, 3 or 4 wards now in the last 2 games that we haven't seen too many throughout this tournament, so they're just keeping tabs of BBT nicely, so I think they can pick and choose what they want to do. Now that it's shifted top, they're probably going to go for this Roche. But yeah, they just have options open.
And incredibly unlikely that BB team's going to even attempt to make any moves over there. They'll just try and take the most out of the fact of the map being left vacant by Falcons, spending time in the pit.
Yeah, they're just trying to finish up one of these next few items, these next things to amplify and buff up the Deuce, but Falcons going to accelerate things massively here in these next few moments.
They will. This is definitely going to be the key for them to, if they want to, break the high ground. They got the Aegis, they've got the full Crimson now on top of the pipe on Amar. They're ready to go.
Yeah, I have to keep checking all these couriers because everybody just is so rich. They're getting so many of these. Yeah, Gem now on Snake too to control vision.
And yeah, GPK's got his BKB, and yeah, I like this. Ags queued
Straight
up
to
next.
Ags. He needs it. I mean, he needs to just play. They're playing for Protect 1. He is not a carry at this point. It is all about the Medusa's game.
And the Ags is going to be big, because there is that huge combo.
It's very far,
I mean, it is very far. They need a good sort of, 5 or 6 more minutes of this game. And obviously with this 4 minutes on the Aegis from Falcons, highly likely that Falcons might get a lot done in this upcoming 4 minutes.
Yeah, they've got the lanes pushed into, they've got mid and top pushed out, and they have this ward bottom that's been watching Saika the entire time farming. See where they look to hit.
Still a tier 2 to take down on the bottom lane for Falcons.
Imagine that's probably where they're going to end to go now next. As Amar, a Crimson Garden also, so talking about all these damage mitigations and stuff like that for Medusa, her damage is not that explosive, especially onto Crimson right now. It's all about that next item. They're going to look for a smoke. They're going to try to be sneaky here.
This is risky, especially if it's going to be Skeeter that kind of catches the brunt of the attack with the Aegis on him. What do BB team want to do about this? They've got eyes on Skeeter.
They lose their ward, so not going to be able to see the back lines. They're going to look for
it's a deep wrap
very
around
deep
here.
wrap.
Can TORONTOTOKYO or GPK find some sort of setup? They go, again, Skeeter's not the one they want first. The timer's ticking, the smoke running out. It's kind of awkward now for BB team.
They see the mid lane pushing in. The fact that nobody's showing there, they know there's this move happening.
Amar is ready to scout this out. They're going to try and go on him. They're going to drop the Doom down, see if they can kill off the Centaur. It's a lot of damage. It should be enough. They've got him. Can they get anything more though? Mira's been jumped in response.
Saika's in trouble.
Take him out. Yeah, Saika taking huge amounts of damage, but they get the shakes down onto Snaking. They found a second. Marin's got to break away, keep his distance.
They got a gem. This is pretty big so far.
But TORONTOTOKYO's going to get caught on the way out, so the gem will return into the hands of Falcons. It's not a bad effort there for BB team. They choose to fight into the Aegis, and they do get a 2-for-2 trade, which when you're down as far as they are right now in the net worth, you probably take that.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, they were able to get this. The Stone Gaze in particular kind of stopped Maureen from being able to full commit onto this Medusa, so not bad. One step of many. I mean, you're still at a huge deficit, of course, but you're going to get a big kill, big surge of experience from taking out this level 18 Centaur.
And it did look risky at the start. I mean, we saw sort of how quickly Saika's mana pool just got shredded by the damage output coming in.
Did he get like, I think he had either a big snake or somebody passed him like a Lotus or something, because he got a pretty decent restore afterwards. Maybe it was the Greaves. Didn't quite get to see. All right, best fight we've seen from them so far in this series, let's be honest with you. Get a 2 trade here, and level 20 now up on the Dusa. Good experience. So the Stone Gaze duration is actually pretty relevant now.
And we are seeing, this time round, if they get the jump onto Amar, they can kill this Centaur.
You have to use everything.
Sure, it takes a lot, but it's proving to not be the worst way to start a fight.
But now cooldowns, 40 seconds on Doom. BBT is quite cooldown reliant to be able to pop those heroes, so Falcons looking to take advantage of those now for the moment. But BBT, as soon as those cooldowns are up again, they could look to go for this fight if they can find a nice type of wraparound like that again. Of course, they lost their vision, and they were not able to recover that gem. But if they can get vision down, if they can look for these type of flank rounds, if they can throw the kitchen sink onto one target, they can kill them.
Our next fight round, Skeeter, especially taking this tower down, should have the money to get the AC out to him. But only a minute or so left on the Aegis.
They actually still have this ward on the high ground. Around the triangle, so sneaky little placement. Could be important for them to get a wrap. Skeeter, though, accelerating things more. As you said, 60 seconds on this Aegis, wants to force as much as possible.
Yeah, AC on the courier. They're going to try for the jump Miro, look at the back line. He does get the Doom out, but indeed the Stampede was already there. They just turn and tear through Miro.
Oh, no.
He's out for 50.
That is not the initiation they wanted at all.
And the push now, it will continue from Falcons. Skeeter, he's going to look for the jump in. He's able to get the Dragon Tail, so they're trying to use the cookie to keep TORONTOTOKYO safe. They'll be able to keep him alive. Now GPK able to turn, gets the Vortex back onto Skeeter. Syke, has he got enough damage to take him down once they have?
That's the Aegis.
It's the Aegis gone. Having to do this 4 versus 5 though, BB team. Still 30 seconds without Miro, and even when he's up, they don't have the Doom.
They still have the other ults though. Stone Gaze plus Kisses plus ET Splitter is at the ready. Falcons, they will respect it. Back up, finish off the Satanic for the Razor. And take out that ward that was placed there from earlier. They knew because of the way the Miro jumped that some type of vision was there, even though it wasn't the greatest type of initiation ever. And now no Doom, 80 seconds when they do respawn. Saika has found that 1 damage item though, on his way toward the next. Is the top net worth?
I mean, without a doubt, considering how far they are behind in net worth, they're still definitely giving quite the fight here, BB team.
Yeah, especially when it comes to these high ground pushes. That's pretty much where they thrive, if they can get some type of dream connection with these stone gaze and stuff like that. But again, gonna keep reiterating, looking at the net worth, it really is just the DOTA versus the world, and those two supports about to surpass the mid and the off lane, even Crit. He's starting to get scaling items too. The Atos, the Gleipnir, it's starting to get queued up onto this Hoodwink as well. Snaking also has a BKB on this Mirana soon.
Tormentor once again. There's going to be Falcons.
Skitter gets a freebie.
GPK halfway towards the Aghanims.
Getting closer and closer. It's all about that big wombo combo. If they can just have them all inside. I mean, it's going to have to just be some type of stone gaze that catches onto 3-4 heroes for him to do the damage still. Gold lead continues to grow.
Saika should have the full Daedalus ready for the next defense. 100 gold away, and pretty much going to have it with this next wave as he pushes out.
And how close is Tokyo to his Lotus? Okay, still a bit away, but if they can even get some type of Lotus play onto a Link, it could be huge. Still needs some time, of course, but...
Amplified damage rune in the bottle, full Marine on the next push forward, and as you say, with the Satanic on top of the BKB, they've got multiple ways that they can absolutely charge in onto the high ground, and BB team, they're going to have so many kind of threats to deal with. Their team fight execution has to be completely flawless from BB team at this point on the defense.
They have to pop a target almost instantly with the Doom, and then they have to play kind of 4v5 scenario and hope that this Medusa can get this good positioning for the Stone Gaze and everything. They're playing around this high ground again, so looking to perhaps catch Falcons off guard.
I mean, do you think, is it a bit of a surprise or a concern for Falcons that because of the support build, they don't have anything like a Lotus to try and deal with the threat of the Doom? Or does that not matter? Or is that a part of the game where the greed could hit them a little bit hard?
I think that they're probably just feeling comfortable because they know how much gold that they're getting on the map. You know that BBT's just been trapped inside the base for the majority of the time, so they probably just think they can outscale. But maybe we will see at least one of those picked up.
GPK is going to be able to poke at the BKB from snaking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the full Lotus done on BB team's side of things. TORONTOTOKYO is going to have that ready to play in the next team fight. He can get that down onto Saika. Should be able to really enable this Medusa to get a lot done in the team fight.
This is sneaky. Someone has to be careful. They're going to show. Rax dies super fast at this AC. But no more creeps. So it's just a range Rax that gets taken out.
And they can hold back. Wait for the next Roche if they want to.
I just keep checking Saika's items, just waiting to see when he's going to queue up the potential Rapier. Doesn't need it just yet. Scotty's going to be very effective versus the enemy lineup too, if he's able to get it, if they can keep slowing things down.
Let's have a look here. Roshan. It's going to be a shorter respawn. 45 seconds until it's back up. Miro farming pretty deep down here. Unlikely to get found by Falcons.
The safest place is the scariest place at this point for them. They have to take these type of risks to find any farm on the map.
Now, the question is, if BB team, do you think they feel strong enough to try and tackle the next Roche fight?
That feels a bit dangerous because you don't really have vision. If they could have gotten a ward out there perhaps beforehand, then maybe, but I think going out there blind is quite a risk because that's you're making the call that this could be our last fight.
Sure. And I think you know, as you say, the high ground
Their high ground is strong.
It is indeed where they're feeling pretty good, and they dealt with the Aegis push last time around. Sure, at the end of it all, they still ended up losing a melee Rax. But again, considering how far Falcons are ahead, and that's all they got with this lead and with that Aegis push, I think, yeah, BB team's going to be telling themselves, let's just wait for them to come to us.
Just wait for high ground. Yeah, you kind of have to at this point. You have to play for them like around these type of cluttered areas where you can potentially land like a 3-man splitter or something with these pulls. And they do want to buy time, like you were mentioning, until GPK does have this Aghanims finished. And he is very close, right? He's 500 away from it. So if they can get like the perfect synergy of everything just combining together, maybe there's still that chance for this Medusa. It's still a tall task, but she is the top net worth, which is important.
Yeah, pretty impressive that amongst all the chaos, Saika's been able to stay at that position.
Only one death. And somehow also, GPK has stopped dying, right? I think it was, when was the last time actually that he did die? I don't know, it's been felt like what, 16 minutes or something since he's died? Can't really remember the exact timing, but he had 9 deaths pretty early in this game and he has stopped at the least on that. They're gonna buy out. So Saika does spend the gold to get the BKB. They spend all their gold.
Okay. It's going to be a hard high ground siege for Falcons, and which is a funny thing to say when they have this much lead in gold. And they should have this next stages. They're going to start on the Roshan. BB team looks like they do want to try and take the fight out here.
Okay, and they spent their gold for it. Falcons do stop hitting that Roche for a moment. They also spent quite a bit of their gold, if I'm not mistaken. I saw Mari did finish up a BKB before everything. Now they're going to start continue threatening it. It dies fast.
BB team, I don't think they're going to feel they can swing across, especially taking the Watcher. They know that Falcons knows that they would be coming over towards this part of the map. So it looks like if anything, they may consider setting up around this high ground and try and catch them before they make it to the base.
This is a risky move if they do go for it, though, because they don't know exactly that there maybe is no vision there. There could be like some sneaky ward. Let's see if they do look for the jump. I mean, GPK, he's got the Arcane Rune. He wants to get some type of dream 3-4-man pull.
It's risky.
It's very risky. And they'll show the illusion. So now at this point, Falcons, they already were playing careful. Look at them playing on the top side. They were avoiding that walk up the hill anyway.
I mean, they're still holding on here. Just in case Falcons let anyone drift away up to the high ground on their own.
They're waiting for someone to show on the map and then potentially maybe look to catch if they see them split up.
I mean, maybe it's also just the threat of them being there, right? They know that it's unlikely Falcons are going to walk into a bad fight, but they also know that if BB team are sat on this high ground, they reveal it with the illusions, Falcons, they're not going to immediately come in with a push on this top lane.
Yeah, I mean, they can just go back and finish up these next few items because they are getting closer to some big ones. I mean, I've been waiting for Crit to reveal which one he goes for, by the way, because he's had the Gleipnir queued up for quite some time, but hasn't quite committed for it if we do want to see like a defensive one for him. And the Rapier does get queued up for Saika, so he is still feeling like he does need that explosive carry potential.
Medusa with a Rapier, this game does sound kind of terrifying.
He's spicy, especially if he's able to hit 25. If we're able to see that split shot use modifiers with Daedalus and Rapier, definitely still that chance.
I mean, still though, Falcons, they seem very relaxed.
They do. They seem very comfortable with just waiting to go for the later stages. BBT playing around this vision.
Do they want to jump Skeeter? GPK's thinking about it.
Oh, GPK got a Timeless Relic also, by the way. So he pretty much got the best things he could have gotten for the situation that they're put in.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. I mean, with the Timeless Relic, right, you're pretty much guaranteed to have enough time with the Vortexes to set up for the Elder Titan to get in position, the Stone Gaze as well, these Stomps, Earth Splitters. It's a lot of wombo combo potential from BB team, but they have to land it perfectly because of how far ahead Falcons are.
Malrine, Refresher has been purchased, so insane amount of damage now on this Razor.
Okay,
jump on two.
They're going to get the Vortex onto the two. They can see the Skinner's in with the jump. The Dragon Tail starts trying to watch GPK. GPK's going to get the BKB off. He zips away. GPK survives.
Saika's stunned though. The arrow connected on him.
The Sharpshooter comes in as well. Lotus has been thrown down upon him though. Cooking him out to the side. Mira's going to make the jump in over towards the Razor. Gets the Doom down onto him. Amar leading forward. Saika trying to stand his ground and fight back. He's doing a lot of damage here on the Medusa. Spring is snaking down low. Can't stick around any longer though. The BKB's about to wear off.
He's running low on mana.
Ogre Seal totems away.
Saika.
Falcons, they're going to look to certainly chase it. The Plasma Field won't catch on. And they don't want to throw themselves into the high ground yet. So Saika will get them place to head back.
The stun again.
GPK, he's not going to get the same chance though. The stun into the silence. They've caught it. The cookie. He's not going to save him.
The Orchid Bird. It's too much.
70 seconds. No buyback on GPK.
They used absolutely everything there to kill a target. They didn't kill anybody on the side of Falcons. Able to reset, sustain, Refresher still at the ready for Malrine, so he can use it if he wants to, and he still has his Eye of the Storm ready in 5 seconds or so.
Yeah, still 2 minutes left on the Aegis for Skeeter. The push coming in once more, tier 3 down in the mid lane. Skeeter, a little to lean onto Saika though. She used the cookie on the illusion. They've got the force back onto Saika. We'll keep him at a safe distance from Falcons.
That was a risky cookie. Gotta save those to be able to reposition the Medusa as much as possible. But it will push Falcons at least back for the moment. But DK Dragon Form's about to be ready again. They've almost got BKBs at the ready on the Razor as well. And Doom is going to be on cooldown for 50 seconds. Falcons will back up, look to farm up a little bit more. They're content with keeping this one going. It feels like they know that they've got the scaling going. Even though in that last fight too, the Link was actually reflected from the Lotus Orb. You could see that it still wasn't enough for BBT to look to turn to fight with this Medusa.
And Falcons there, ready and set up in case BB team do start to try and look for these sneaky smoke plays coming out of the base.
And they've got everything at the ready. Gleipnir now finished up onto the Hoodwink, so we see GPK fall into the bottom 3.
Snake King's ready to start work on his Satanic.
Oh, well, look. That'll be a pretty interesting one for him, but sure, why not? And the push commences. Doom, 5 seconds until it does come back up. BKB's at the ready on the side of Falcons.
Him with the jump. Straight away going to start off the action on Wall Psycho. They get the silence in as well. Big Manta to remove it. Illusions will block the arrow. Falcons, they'll hold back. So full Bloodthorn next time round. Skeeter's going to be ready to slam down on these heroes.
He's just trying to force this type of reaction. If they can force the Medusa to use a BKB, then Psycho just... It's very difficult for him to fight.
I mean, if BB Team can hold on for just a few more waves coming in, Psycho is going to get very close to this Divine Rapier dream.
He needs both timings, though. I think he needs the Rapier and that 25, it does feel like. Yes, he's going to be able to do decent damage single when he's got that Rapier, if he does get it, but... Feels like he does need that explosive damage on everybody. Because it really is him versus the world.
Oh, check the time. Torment is up again.
Perfect timing, and he just reclaims, so Skeeter doesn't even lose HP during it. As I think Snaking did commit for it, by the way.
He did.
I think he committed for the Satanic.
He's getting that Satanic online.
Not too often you see these supports get it. I think the last time I saw support get a Satanic was like a Hoodwink, I think, getting one in some crazy game. I think it was Boxy at some point in some tournament, but this is not something you see too often. But he's wanting to scale. Again, level 20's been hit now for him too. So that crit is online. And same thing for him. I mean, crit as well too. He is online. So pretty much 5 cores that Falcons have been able to build up.
Yeah, 30k lead pretty much coming up on the numbers here from Falcons. They're enjoying this.
The Rapier's purchased, Owen.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I mean, can Psycho turn this game around? Here, on the TI main stage, it's where it counts the most. The BB Team, they've never been able to take a series against Falcons.
Can you imagine if this will be the way that they do it, off of a Rapier purchase?
Or this may just be the end of the game.
Or
we're going to find out.
We'll have to see.
The smoke's coming out. They're ready for the setup. Skeeter's out for the blink. GPK.
Done too.
He's going to get the opening here. Straight away on the race. They're going to lay down the Doom as well. Snaking. He gets shredded completely. They're able to take down Amar as well. Now they're going to go towards Marine. And then great start to the comeback here. Potential from BB Team. As they storm outside of the base, they take out 3 heroes. They're dead for a long time, folks.
They are. I mean, GPK found the perfect 2 targets, and they got the Doom onto Malrine. The ideal situation for them.
Oh.
And level 25, it's about to hit as well.
I mean, you know, for the sake of the pubs out there and support Moranas farming Satanics, you know, maybe it will be a good thing if a comeback does happen. Can they do it with this Rapier Medusa? And the 25, as you say, he's basically got it.
Basically that.
Basically got it.
The important thing is, too, now at this point, when you're able to get these type of kills, these sequences,
check this out again.
Their respawns are long, so Doom and everything comes back up as they respawn.
And as we're saying here, you know, if they don't deal with the Medusa, Psycho, he'll kill them. They will all die.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the perfect jump. You couldn't ask for a better one there from GPK or from Yarrow. Even though there's that 22,000 lead.
I mean, could
it be the damage on the Medusa? Yeah,
Falcons, maybe they were just a little too relaxed this game. Because BB Team, they're getting the chance to get back into it, absolutely, around this Medusa. And in a style, as you say, that just hasn't been doing too well. The 4 protect 1.
But look at the itemization that they've gone for, too, with it, right? So Vlad's also on save. It's everything about throwing onto Psyche at this point. What is GPK queuing? I'm almost like thinking that, can he just go down the refresher route on the Storm?
I wouldn't
Feels
mind
like a double pull. Yep. All he really has to do is set up for the Doom or for this Medusa to get in position to get these type of plays. He's got the damage. Miro, he does have a refresher also finished up too, so they will have that secondary round of them. And so far, I'm just clicking around. No Lincolns, no Lotuses purchased for the side of Falcons. And I'm clicking on Snaking, and I'm seeing the Satanic.
He's getting a Hurricane Pike. At least he's getting a Hurricane.
Yeah, but
it gives you 4 stuff. It's going to help a little bit.
I definitely feel like that Satanic could have been like a Lincoln's for him, because it feels very greedy from him in particular. But
I mean, let's see. Maybe
how the next fight goes.
Falcons are able to just end the game now, as they're coming in with the smoke. And of course, being a 4 protect 1, if they kill this Medusa, it should be game over. He does have buyback available, but of course that will be without that Rapier.
But Falcons, they're the ones wanting to start a fight, because if BBT is able to just get the starting of the fights a lot of times, they can delete heroes.
Oh, BB Team.
They're reading the movement.
And a bit of spooky location here.
They've got a...
Falcons might not quite expect.
They saw the ward placed in their base. They have a sentry down, so they saw that Falcons were sneaking.
They're going to try and jump Marine. They're in straight away. They're going to Doom down onto Marine. He's getting shredded. Amar comes in with the car. He's ready to wheel Marine back out to safety. Amar with the Aghanim save. Now they're ready for the turn here, Falcons. They go straight towards Miro. They take down the Doom, but Psycho, he'll take Snaking out in return.
Miro spent his gold.
They're going straight for them now with the Stampede. They're ready to get back in onto them. Skeeter gets him with the jump strike. The Cookie gets Psycho for the high ground. They'll be able to tear Psycho away back to safety. GPK pops the BKB. The ball lighting back up to the high ground. The cores survive. The 2 of them. It's just Miro that's out for 55.
He spent the gold for that refresher, and he gets caught on the front line of everything there.
We've got to look out for more players like this. Amar with the workhorse, with that cart. He's ready to bail them out, and if that wasn't there, if he wasn't ready, Malrine was absolutely dead.
I mean, he tried for... I actually didn't even see in the last one, I'll be completely honest. I was wondering what happened with Malrine, why he was like ghost form in the bottom one. But yeah, it was that Aghanims this time. It does play it safe to be able to get the reset from the Doom. Roshan in 40 seconds. Doom will be respawning in time, and he will have... Okay, won't have the double Doom. He'll
check this out again.
Ready.
And see how quick they are to jump. But Malrine, he knows that Amar's ready to back him up. I mean, indeed, without that there, he was absolutely dead.
Very quick reaction. TORONTOTOKYO in a dangerous position right now here. Amar. Whoa, he found him.
Oh,
and he's in with the stun. They got the two supports.
And there's nobody to get TORONTOTOKYO out of this. TORONTOTOKYO's gone. Psyka's going to try and fight back. GPK's in with the Sims. Going to get the grab, get the vortex onto the two of them. Jump forward as well from Miro. Then take a crit out. Medium buyback comes in. But Miro is safe. They're ready to continue chasing. Amar trying to drag Malrine out of the fight and will succeed. Gets them away from BB Team. Both teams dropping the buybacks here. Saving TORONTOTOKYO for BB Team and Crit with the one from Falcon's side of things.
Oh, and this card is doing wonders. And it's got such a low cooldown. It's back up in 10 seconds. Every single time he can actually use this to bail Malrine out.
Someone's got to find Amar.
They really do. Malrine, he's got the BKB back up also. Level 25 has been hit on the DK. Lots of buybacks used. These supports have to be careful. The arrow will scout.
Stone Gaze is up.
Psyka in the front lines.
They're going to get the jump on him. Dragon Tail, little Bloodthorn, then you back up. The Vortex comes in, but Psyka's fully low. Can he get the snake out? The man has gone. Psyka's
in trouble.
He wants the BKB, tries to stand his ground. Starts to attack back over towards Amar. The damage is
Psyka's still alive.
He's surviving. He'll force out to the side. Turn towards Skinner.
He's still alive.
They're going to get 4. It's snaking against the world, and he's not going to succeed.
Oh my goodness.
For Psyka, BB Team. They're turning the game around, folks.
He was out of mana so early in the fight, but he's able to stand the ground. They get the connection. The Stone Gaze connects. Oh my goodness, this game is delivering.
And into the Roche pit.
Aegis,
they're going to be
Aghanims.
So much money on Psyka as well. He's still got a lot of options for what he wants to pick up next. But we'll see this. They absolutely felt here, Falcons, that they had him. You see the mana drop it slow. But Psyka, they couldn't quite do the damage beyond his mana pool. He keeps his distance, stands his ground as well, attacking back onto Amar. What a fight.
Unbelievable. Insane stuff. Just little mini, I mean, maybe just butterfly evasion and stuff coming into play. Every little possible small thing keeping Psyka alive. Falcons starting to feel a bit of that pressure after having a 30,000 gold lead.
I mean, there was always a sense that this could be coming, but with BB Team, they've just never really done something like this before.
No, this is super impressive for Psyka in particular. And I also have to give a lot of credit to GPK. This man had 9 deaths in the game. Yep. He's got 10 now, but the pulls he's been able to get, the jumps, they've been crucial for this comeback.
It really feels like all the times in the past in which BB Team have tilted out of rough games, they've just been saving it up for today, Fogged, where it counts the most.
Now they've got Banner too. This Rax in jeopardy, and these long respawns. Doom's coming back up. Everything's coming back up for BBT. You couldn't bring down this Medusa once, and now versus Aegis, the gold lead has gone to 0.
Incredible stuff there. And yeah, Falcons. What would you imagine is the vibe from their side of things right now? Like, what are they saying? What are they doing? This is a completely new position for them to really be forced into.
They probably just felt like they were comfortable with the multi-scale because of how much Crit was farming, because of how much Snay was farming, because of everybody. But now I'm looking at the itemization. They're like, we need to get ways to prevent this Medusa from attacking or prevent something. See, Snay's queued up like a halberd, but these items maybe are coming after the fact that they needed them. These Dooms have been hitting. The Stone Gazes are connecting, and now it's a Swift Blink. So positioning for Psyka, it's always going to be there. Feeling like this Medusa now has the advantage in the game. And the positioning overall, BBT, they've been able to get these beautiful jumps over and over again.
Psyka's in.
Somehow hit level 25 throughout all this.
They try with a jump. And with this Aegis, I mean, we saw how much they struggled to take him down once in a team fight.
He's high-fiving him.
Gonna get the jump again.
It's a good link.
The static link. That should be the Aegis gone.
Uh-oh.
But you've got to imagine this was part of the plan, because they just presented the Medusa up. Let's see what the backup is here from BBT. They're going to jump. The stun is there immediately, holding the two of them. They'll try to look at Psyka out to the side, but
Psyka's going down.
The Rapier hits the deck. Falcons, they'll defend, and they're ready to kill off more as they look towards save. Tried to hide with the glimmer, but they found him as well.
Uh-oh.
BB
And that's a
team.
rapier. Wait, they give it a snaking.
Oh, I mean, he's the one with the satanic. He's like, guys, I didn't farm the satanic for nothing. Give me the rapier.
Oh, man. It looks like they were putting him out there on a silver platter, but it seemed like they had an idea to play around it, but now Doom dead 7, Snap gone.
I would say these incredible 20,000 gold swings in these fights.
After making such an unbelievable comeback throughout the majority of this game, it takes one mistake.
Oh, no. Maybe the BB team of old is still within them.
Falcons.
They were so close to turning this around, but it's just been completely redeemed there by that successful defense from Falcons.
And you can look at like kind of how it all plays out is Saika has to swap the BKB in, right? Because the Aegis is getting reclaimed. He has to swap in it. It wasn't up, so he actually just gets hit by the first stun.
Yeah, instant
followed up from the chain stun, and they're able to connect absolutely everything, and he can't get anything off before they get all those spells onto him.
Well, here we go. Let's see if they can hold now without the rapier on the Medusa. Now things are going to get back to being very, very hard for BB team.
Especially because now even snaking with a rapier, his damage is also pretty absurd. And now these Raxes, the final set. 15 seconds, no Doom.
I mean, this genuinely could have been the plan all along for snaking. He's like, I'm just going to get satanic, they're going to get rapier, they're going to lose the rapier, and I'm going to take it for myself.
He wishes. Imagine having that much foresight. That'd be pretty impressive. Skitter. The final Rax, there's no glyph. You gotta go soon, BBT.
GP a little slow with the jump there. They get the range racks, the melee racks, they were out. Same time that creeps out pushing in top, BB team. So Falcons will have to head back and deal with that one. The game will go on 52 minutes in now. BB team, can they get that sort of swing back again this game? It's going to require another rapier.
It's going to require another rapier, exactly what I'm about to say.
I mean, Saika should be able to farm that out pretty quickly. But it depends how much time Falcons give BB team these moments.
What's he going to sell? I mean, maybe you just sell something. Maybe sell your like Manta or something just to be able to get it.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to have to open up an inventory slot.
Sure.
But we'll see. Back up to the 30,000 gold lead very quickly, of course, as you were mentioning, from that fight swing.
Look at that. It's as if the comeback never happened, really.
They did get They did get almost 2 full sets of Rax at least, so some momentum pushing out of the lanes slightly. But it's just this range Rax now left top for the side of Falcons. And Saika, he needs the rapier. So yeah, sells the Manta.
Okay. That's pretty
much has it gone.
400 gold.
400 gold.
So there should be, well, there will be a second rapier thrown into the mix this game. There it is.
He has to get the BKBs off, though. They have to still get he still needs all this defensive capability. If he gets caught from an initial stun, I still have massive concerns for this Medusa.
Yeah, they've proven that they've been able to burst through him.
Yeah. And also the team just needs to be closer. Let's be real here. That last fight, they put him out so far. They were, what, 2,000 range away?
It looked a bit rough. It looked like losing the Aegis was kind of like part of the plan, but then it seemed to play out like there was no plan at all.
Smoke up, Miro. Oh, Ninja Gear.
With the jump, they're going to throw the dude down. I mean, it's not a bad target. They get rid of Amar. They get rid of his workhorse car. There's no save.
I mean, if Snay has to be cautious with his positioning, too, on this Mirana, he is very important in this game. If he gives up a rapier, too, the game could just swing back and forth constantly. That's going to be their cruise. That's going to be the key target, though, they have to go for. I think the Doom just has to be thrown onto Amar in every single one of these situations. At least one of them. Otherwise, he's just going to stampede Workhorse out, one of the boys. So if they can keep playing around those visions, getting that type of Doom, then they still got a fighting chance with this Medusa.
Sure. And TORONTOTOKYO is going to be able to enable a lot, like with this Ags, and now going for the AC.
True. He's actually starting to get some scaling.
He's
got the 20 talent. Gone are the days, though, of ET being able to just jump in a lot of the times and be able to do that constant briefcasing. But if he's able to get the AC and match, maybe there's that chance, too, for him.
Now, if you get the AC, and if you can get that rapier maybe from snaking, you know, you never know. This ET could be going far.
Look at Maori and telling them, come high ground, because that was where the blunder definitely did happen before. Other thing to point out, crit Wind Waker is finished up, so other ways to prevent Doom. So now you have to look for quite a few different targets to at least focus fire.
That's true.
Initiations are going to still be, it's kind of been the most important thing for the side of BBT throughout most of this game, but yeah, even more so than ever. Looking for this annoying Hoodwink, looking for this Centaur with one of the Dooms.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I'd still imagine overall Amar's going to be the key target.
Yeah, absolutely.
You take him out the fight, it's absolutely huge, because his saves have been crucial.
Yeah. And I'm wondering to see if maybe he does queue something like a Lincoln's himself. He does have the gold soon for it on Amar. He can consume that Aghanims and then go for it afterwards, so yeah, we'll see. There's still a lot of item growth that can come through at both sides in this game.
Smoke time from Falcons. They're ready to go again. Both teams very close to the point where one successful team fight could draw out the finale of this game.
How much buybacks are there? Or how many are there? It looks like Falcons has the majority. The two supports don't have it, but the three cores do. While on the side of BBT, they kind of have to go all in for most of them here. GPK can play around it, but the rest of them do have to spend their gold, it feels. And Roche, how long is it going to be? It's a fast one, 20 seconds.
And at this point, I'd imagine, has it fallen back to the point where BB team probably don't want to fight around the pit? You know, sure, maybe take a fight outside of the base, but not actually in the pit? Or do you think now, back with another Rapier on the Medusa, they could actually look to go fully aggressive?
It's total chaos at this point. I think you can any fight that you can take if you have vision is important for BBT. So if they can get vision down there, then perhaps, yeah, look for that fight. Miro has also hit 25, so the mute is online. It's a big power spike for them on top of everything.
Absolutely. Whoever he gets the Doom down onto, as long as Psycho's able to follow up, get his BKB off and get the hits in, they will kill. Unless, of course, the jump isn't made indeed onto Dental.
So we'll have to see if they do get the connections.
And as you say, the Wind Waker also another option for Falcons to counterplay the jump from BBT.
And yeah, I think you'd said it before, but Maori does have Lincolns finally, so they do have at least one of the blocking. And they can purchase a couple more. I'm just sitting, they have 7,000 gold on several different heroes.
Yeah, I'd say if anything, Maorian's probably got to look out to get that Lincoln's thrown onto Amar, if Amar's the one being targeted first.
He can do fancy stuff, right? Yeah. You can Lincolns, you can pop Refresher and block, or send another one and stuff like that. This Roche, it dies too fast, they can't contest. And difficult for them to come out there now at this point when Falcons has the vision too. 57 minutes, we could be approaching toward this 60-minute mark also.
And DJ, yeah, you can only imagine the potential there. Something like a Mirror Shield coming out for Psycho.
I mean, explosive damage can come into these Apexes and Stygians. They're nothing to laugh at this point in the game. Falcons, though, with this Aegis. See where they look to go.
Let's see. BB team. The remainder of the smoke.
They have to just literally play around vision. If they see an occasion where they can get a multi-hero pull, that's where they kind of just have to take it. Even if they're playing into Aegis, I think they have to seize any opportunity they can get where they get multiple heroes inside this vortex from GPK. Even if it's risky, you don't want Falcons to just get free setup onto high ground pushes.
And Falcons.
Tense moments.
They're on their way. Sending in the illusions first, seeing if they can get any information out. BB team remaining completely hidden. Looking to fight underneath their ward setup here, BB team. Falcons, they're careful about how they approach this. They know that BB team is likely to be looking for this sort of play.
It's deep breaths from both sides here. It's patience.
They're getting the vortex opening and straight away over Skeeter. They're going to look to burst through the Dragon Knight. They've done so. He's out the once. Now they turn attention over towards Amar, but Miro found the Doom target. Amar had to back off. He's trying to push on forward, but the Earth Splitter catches him. Maori trying to heal up here with the Satanic. Is it going to be enough to keep it alive against the five of them? It looks pretty good. They can't quite bring Maori down. They've got to start backing off. He's been caught by the blood. Is there anyone to break him out of this? They're going to try and get him back up the high ground, but they can't.
He's down for 2.
The pushback catches him. He's out for 2 minutes. No buyback available on Cypher. This could be it for Falcons. They're pushing on. That was the fight that they were looking for.
Another catch.
20 seconds until Psycho can buy back. It's on cooldown. He has the money. Can they last 20 more seconds? GPK trying to buy them time in the vortex onto the two of them, but Maori and Skinner, they're looking to close it up. The fortification's there. 7 seconds until Psycho is back.
Can they push them off?
I mean, with these two Rapiers now on Falcon's side, I think they push fast. Mirror's in with the Doom. GPK trying to but Amar's in with the save. He's going to get Skeeter into the car.
The throne's dying.
He allows Skeeter to keep hitting the edge and close the game up without any interruption. GG is called.